Hello friends, I am Sound Pepper and welcome you all to Simply OR. Today we are going to discuss about network analysis, which is involving a popular techniques which is based on CPM and PERT. So in this lecture we will learn how to solve the network problem by using a CPM technique. So before that, let's have some introduction. What are the network and why we require to draw this kind of network path? So in earlier days, whenever a big projects are there, like construction work or shipbuilding work, so in that kind of large work, we need to schedule some task, and based on that, we need to track that task. So that has been employed in earlier days by using a Gantt charts, so which indicates the details as you can see in this example. So details, different project name or task has been listed along with the completion and their actual working along with the planned working. So that kind of tracking you can obtain by using this Gantt charts. So it was very easy and useful information that can be obtained by using this technique. Though this technique won't indicate any kind of interrelationship between the tasks. So when you break down the multiple tasks and you want the information how these different tasks are interrelated with different tasks, so that kind of explicit information are not available. So later on we have newer techniques which was been evolved after World War or during World War II, that are known as CPM and PERT. So in this example you can see whenever we draw a network diagram or we want to do any analysis, so for that we require to draw a network diagram that involve different events and activity. So as you can see here in this diagram, these are the node 1 and node 2 that will indicate events, and to complete this event from 1 to 2 we may require certain amount of time, and that time or activity time is indicated here. That is our activity time, expected duration. So these are the logically representation to draw a network path for any work to be represented as a network. So let's see how the different situations can be represented in network diagram. So here you can see a different situations. Situation 1 which indicates that activity A need to be finished before you start activity B or C. Okay. So this representation easily understandable. Similar situation are obtained here in second example. You can see before you want to start this C activity, it is required to be complete activity A and B. Then and only then you can start this C activity. So that can be represented by like this. Another situation here you can see is D activity can be started only after completion of A and C. Okay, and here one more situation is that B also need to be started after finishing of activity A. So there is a dummy activity is indicated here because this D activity can only be started after completion of A and C, and this A activity is not directly linked here. So in certain cases whenever a direct link up is not involved, but in order to start this activity D we require to complete this A, so in that case we need to introduce dummy activity. So as the name suggests, it is a dummy activity which will not involve any kind of resources. So there is a no utilization of any kind of time or cost. So it is just introduced to complete the network. So logical representation can be completed and further calculations can be done. So now we will move further, and before we complete the example of CPM, let's introduce the difference between PERT and CPM. So PERT is nothing but a program evaluation review technique. It is also known as project evaluation review technique, while CPM is known as critical path measurement or critical path method. The basic difference is PERT is event oriented while CPM is activity oriented, and PERT is probabilistic in nature while CPM is deterministic. It means in CPM we have the finalized data about the activity duration, the cost. So all the data are available with our past experience or as per the record book. While in PERT, no such data are available. We are probability. We are assuming the data. So PERT is generally useful whenever R&D kinds of activity are involved. A newer project need to be completed where past data is not available with us. While CPM is utilized whenever we have past data available. So CPM is generally focusing on project time as well as cost. So we are trying to optimize this in CPM, while PERT is trying to optimize the time. Okay, I hope it is clear to all the difference between. So here you can see a simple example has been taken to show how to draw a network and how to calculate the CPM. Okay, so let's start with this simple example. So here you can see first column is given with the different kinds of job. In second column, a job description has been provided. In third column, a relationship between jobs are mentioned. And in fourth column, a duration for each activity or this job has been given. So let's proceed. And before that, you understand that if you want to start this job B, then you need to complete job A. So these are the relationship between the jobs. If you want to start C, then you must complete B, and for D also. So let's start with job A, which is a job between two nodes. So first we draw a two nodes, name it as 1 and 2. Okay, so there are two nodes we indicating here and naming it 1 and 2. Okay, and this arrow representing activity, and that is activity A. So, sorry. So it is clear how activity A is represented between these two nodes, and that time duration 10, you can also write 10 over here. Now we will represent next activity, that is B. So for B, A need to be completed. So we will initiate B activity after this end of this A. So third activity node we will draw over here. Okay, and this is represented as B. Assume it as B. Now for the C activity, for C activity to be initiated, we must complete a B activity. So C activity will initiate from end of this B. Similarly for the D, completion of B is required. So after this B activity, we have two activity. One is C and one is D. So we'll indicate two activities from this node. One of them is C and one is say D. So and we again represent two nodes. We can name it as 4 and 5. So next activity we have is E, and that can be initiated after completion of C. And so C activity is here, so we can complete our next activity E at the end of C, and we name it another node as our point number 6, and this is our activity E. Next activity we have is F, and that can be initiated after completion of D. So that can be initiated after the completion of D. So we'll draw here next activity, and that will name it as a F. Okay. So as you can see, this node is last node. So that's why these two activities has been merging over here, and that is our finish line. So this is the network diagram. As you can see, all the activities are described here, and all the relationship between different activities are also indicated over here. Okay. Apart from this, in addition to all this activity, you can also represent this time along with this activity. So you can simply write down time duration, whatever available for each activity. So for C it is a 40, for D it is a 30, and for E it is 20, and for F it is 10. Okay. Now we have two way here to complete this project path, and that two possibilities are A, B. One of them is A, B, C, E. Okay, that is one path to complete this network. Another path we have is A, B, D, F. Okay, so out of these two choice, which one is taking longer time, that we have to calculate. So in that first choice, the time total duration to complete this network is 10 plus 10 20 plus 40, that is 60, plus 20 equal to 80. So that is taking 80 minutes. Now if we go in this way, then it is 10 plus 10 20 plus 30 50 plus 10 equal to 60. So as you can see, observe, so the first path was taking a large duration, and that's why it is known as a critical path. So that will be termed as critical path because it is the longest duration of our given network. Okay, so since this one was a very simpler example, so we have only two possible way to complete this network. So in larger network we may have many possibilities. Out of that we have to find the longest duration taking path, and that is termed as a critical path. In short, the critical path will give you a minimum time required to complete the project. Okay, so that's why it is very important to observe the critical path and manage the resources to avoid any kind of disturbance to that critical activities. Otherwise, any kind of mismanagement in critical activities will lengthening the time required to complete the project. Okay, I hope it is clear to all how to find a critical path by this simple example. Thank you all.